Hello, my name is Rylan Rob,
I'm Ian Prince.
and welcome to the Full Court Press podcast. If you saw our first episode that we released in December,
I was about to say like 8 months ago.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
it's really like 3 weeks,
Um,
whatever.
that we're in a little different spot. We are now in the student media, studio, and I gotta admit, setup ain't bad. Setup pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot's happened since last time too. I mean, we've had the Super Bowl, we had the national championship. Luca got traded. That happened since last episode. Yeah, it feels like forever ago. A lot of other stuff has
Yeah.
happened in the world, but I mean, that's really the main three. I should really say Anthony Davis got traded because that was probably going to happen. We didn't know Luca would, but there's that. The March Madness has started. Conference championships have also came in and have left. We're round 3 now, so that's a Sweet 16.
Yes.
Women's basketball as well.
Yeah. So again, we got March Madness, we got
Women's March Madness.
Women's March Madness. We have, baseball opening
Baseball,
day.
yeah. Spring training has came and it's going. It's closing soon. Opening day is
I think it's-
soon.
Yeah, it's very soon.
It is very soon. It's already almost April.
Yeah,
It is
and-
March 26th. I turned 19. That also happened. That happened on Monday.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm just looking for any updates. Most recent sports update I can give you is Tim Boyle just got signed by the Tennessee Titans. That means nothing because since college,
Mhm.
every time he has played a snap in a game, his team has lost.
Ooh, MVC news. Let's talk about the MVC for a minute.
Oh yeah, forget about that. That's the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake won the chip.
Yes.
Men's basketball.
So with men's basketball, Drake won, and then in the women's conference, Murray State won. Now with Drake, you and me, so obviously Drake won the MVC tournament. They punched their ticket to go to the official NCAA March Madness bracket. Man.
I only want to be with you. Sorry, you
Yeah.
brought up a Hootie and the Blowfish song.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. You and me, we come from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at other girls. Sorry, you said you wanted this Pat McAfee vibes. They like to start singing random songs.
Hey. Yeah. The Drake Bulldogs. They made it to the NCAA March Madness bracket, and when we were filling out our bracket, we immediately were like, "Oh yeah, Drake is gonna upset Missouri.
Drake to the chip.
Drake to the chip."
What other ones? We got a lot of upsets. McNeese State, we got that one.
We got the McNeese upset. We got the Drake upset. I really had Drake going to beat Texas Tech. I am a little surprised they lost to Tech.
I'm not. I mean, also, speaking of Drake Bulldogs, not only did they just lose their head coach because he just got signed by
Yes.
Iowa, they lost Bennett Sturts, their best player. I thought he'd go to the draft, to be honest with you. Instead, he goes and transfers, follows his head coach to the University of Iowa, the next Caitlin Clark.
Is he a senior? Or will he be a senior next
I
year?
think so.
Okay, because I think let's be honest, the reality of a player going pro and getting drafted from an MVC school is relatively low. Not that somebody couldn't, but they would have to be absolutely insane.
Like Bennett Sturts? Bennett Sturts insane?
But I think him taking an extra year going to a Big Ten school, a major conference school, I feel like I was kind of looking for their next big person because Caitlin Clark graduated and is now gone from the university.
It's huge. I mean, that's why you
Yeah.
have the all these conferences flipping
Mhm.
in a way. That's why that's like kind of an even playing ground, so to speak, when it comes to football, because anybody can spend as much money as they want if they have that money. And then that's why the SEC is so good at basketball now.
Dude, I know the SEC's nuts. How many? They had over 10 teams.
14.
They had
14.
14
Set a new record.
in the tournament.
That's almost every single because they have 16 teams.
Who missed?
Um,
Texas, or
No.
do you count them?
you count them. They
Okay.
meant like the
The play-in, I
the
guess.
play in and the actual bracket. The other ones went to the NIT.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they're pretty good. I'm trying to think of who missed. Um,
Um, there was
not A&M. A&M made it.
A&M made it.
LSU.
LSU did not make it.
LSU missed, and no, Vanderbilt made it.
Yeah,
So weird to say.
they were a 10 seed.
Georgia, Bama, South
Yeah.
Carolina.
No, they did not.
You're right.
South
no.
Carolina made the women's tournament, not the men's
Yeah,
tournament.
that's right.
So it's just LSU and South Carolina, but they're better at women's basketball. Like both
Exactly,
of
yeah.
their teams made it.
Mhm.
I think as top seeds.
I mean, you know what the best school is? The only team to make the college football playoff,
Mm-hmm.
men's March Madness, College World Series, and women's tournament in like the last calendar year from this point. There was only one team to do it. Can you guess which one? Rocky Top, baby.
Rocky Top.
University of Tennessee.
Rocky Top. You know, okay, so you're starting to convert me to a Tennessee fan a little bit.
Good.
I will always be an Illini fan at heart, but
Well, you know what they say. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Sorry, you said always be, and I had to.
Hey, you have to. But no, I think now is a good time to bring up our personal March Madness story.
Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy. Don't hate us, but we picked Yale over A&M and Louisville over Creighton. Sorry.
At the time, it was a good idea.
At the time, yeah.
But that's not the story I meant.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Tennessee to the chip. Might be biased, but Tennessee to the chip.
I also have Tennessee at the chip in my bracket, and my bracket is still thriving. Some people that I know pick St. John's, and their bracket is looking a little rough right now.
Some people I know chose Florida, which isn't a solid pick for right now. But trust me, after this weekend, it's not going to be a solid pick. I'm calling it right now.
Who's Florida?
Gets upset.
Who are they playing?
I don't know.
You don't even know, but they're just getting upset.
Let's check it real quick. Let's check.
Okay.
Let's check our matches. Our matches.
Well, you check the matchups. I'm going to talk about like our story with March Madness. So during the first round, the round of 64, I was just on like SeatGeek, just looking at ticket prices and stuff, and because the March Madness games were happening in Lexington, Kentucky, right? And I was like, oh, that's decently close to where we're at here in Evansville, and ticket prices were actually really, really cheap. So what did we do? The Thursday, literally first day of March Madness, we decide, yeah, let's go to the game. So tickets are like $15 a piece. So we buy our tickets and then we go to Lexington, Kentucky, and we watch the Tennessee Wofford game. And it was a good game. The energy was good. Like we were in Rupp Arena.
Yeah, if you're from Wofford, you know the refs. Let's be honest, they weren't that good.
Like it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. I mean,
you want to talk about some good games?
Sure.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, you got the matchups for us.
Auburn versus Michigan.
Ooh.
Give me Michigan.
Give me Michigan.
Ole Miss. No. Give me Auburn. Give me Auburn. Michigan's inconsistent. I mean, they put 91 up on Texas A&M, and I don't think Auburn even did that. This is gonna be a hard match. I'm gonna take Auburn for right now.
I think it still could be Michigan.
I agree. I believe that.
I think that's a 50-50 one.
Hold on. I just got a notification from Ian Rappaport,
Mhm.
and it's official. Russell Wilson has just signed to the New York Giants. New York Giants bring in two really good quarterbacks this year.
Wow.
Jameis Winston was signed maybe later last week, or maybe even earlier this week. I can't remember. And Russell Wilson today, I know they made it a fit like they said he was yesterday, but today he signed the contract. He put pen to paper. Nothing's final till that happens. Russell Wilson is now a New York Giant.
Wow.
Sorry to cut it off. I just got that notification, and I'm ADHD written. Who cares? Next game we have Ole Miss and we have Michigan State. I'm taking Michigan State.
Michigan State.
They're my dark horse to win the championship. I know they're a 2 seed, but like a dark horse actually means something this year if you're not a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I mean,
Then
they're a 2 seed. So
yeah,
are all the 1 seeds still in it? Because we
yes.
have Auburn, Florida,
Houston and Duke.
Houston, Duke. Yeah,
Duke, my bad.
they're all still in it. So
Then we have Florida and Maryland.
I like Maryland.
I like Maryland too.
They had they're coming off of a really good game last time with that buzzer beater, and I really think they have a good chance to beat Florida. Because the Florida games have been getting closer and closer. I feel like
They both they yeah they allowed 69 points to Norfolk State.
yeah,
UConn, they beat UConn. They lost. Yeah, they beat UConn by 2. I thought UConn was going to win that. So
yeah. So
I'm
like
taking
their
Maryland.
margin of victory is not as high as it should be for like
Well, that's
as
because they're an offensive team. They really don't have a good defense when you break it
yeah,
down.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
Maryland,
defensively, they're just not there.
Maryland kind of does.
Does what?
Has a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Next, I'm taking Texas Tech, Arkansas. I'm taking Arkansas.
Oh yeah. Give me Arkansas.
But I bet against Arkansas last time. I'm not making the same mistake twice, which I know I'm going to say that and they're probably going to lose, but I don't really like where Texas Tech is defensively as much as I like Arkansas's size. They do have Big Z.
Yeah,
7'9".
Like I watched this like the entirety of the St. John Arkansas game. Arkansas looked really good. They were firing on all cylinders. They had players that could come off the bench and have like a spark off the bench. I mean, they had like they pretty much they honestly they looked like a national championship contender.
Oh yeah. Next we have Puke in Arizona. I'm taking Zona. That might be biased,
It's very biased.
but Arizona put up 93 on Akron, which oh no, they put up 90. Well, they
It's-
both put up 93 against their
I s-
opponents.
They're both going to be offensive teams, but like honestly, I think you still give me Duke.
Well, Arizona
I
coming off an amazing victory, won by 4 against Oregon, and you know I was pretty high on Oregon.
Yeah. I still think Duke takes it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to Arizona. Put it that way.
Fair.
I still think they'll win.
I'm taking Zona. Where I'm at with this is time and time again,
Mm.
Duke has had a very one really good player and a pretty good supporting cast, but they rely mainly on that one player. Of course, that's Cooper Flagg for this one. And the one thing I like about that is I'm like, okay, Cooper Flagg, they had that with Zion Williamson. I'm like, okay, they got this. They're gonna win the chip.
Mhm.
I am tired of year after year falling for the hype of Duke, and they don't make it. And they don't win the national championship. They always lose in the Elite Eight or Sweet 16, maybe in Final Four.
Mhm.
But I'm tired of it. Give me Arizona.
I think they go to the like maybe the Elite Eight, Final Four, and then past that, who knows? But that is a fair statement. So who do we got next?
BYU, Alabama. I'm taking BYU.
Interesting. I think BYU takes it because honestly, BYU has. I didn't expect them to make it this far, and they look really good. And I think they're kind of on a roll.
They barely beat Wisconsin, and Wisconsin I feel like has the firepower to beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Therefore, I went BYU. Houston, Purdue. I'm taking Houston here.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I'm taking them.
I don't want Purdue to go any farther.
The last one that scares me, Tennessee, Kentucky.
That's gonna be the best game of this round.
Why that scares me is because Tennessee did not lose a game until they had to play the SEC.
Yeah.
That was when they first lost a game, which is like, okay, yeah, the SEC is really good. But when it comes to Kentucky, they beat them twice this year, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. But I know I'm going to say that, and then boom, Kentucky's going to win. So I don't know. It's just going to be a really good game.
But like you said, it's hard to go in a season 3-0 against the same team, especially like you've already played twice, and then you're gonna play them again on a third time. Like that's like in any sport that's except maybe like baseball. That's hard to do.
I want to say but it's March, but it's March and it's a Kentucky team, because it being like the madness in March is always stacked against Kentucky. I had them falling to Troy in the first round in some of my brackets.
I really thought Illinois would beat Kentucky in the second.
Yeah, and that's another place where I thought Illinois was going to.
Troy just didn't have the firepower. Illinois has been inconsistent. I really think Kentucky has had a very easy path
Up to this point.
Yes.
I agree.
Tennessee will 1,000% be their hardest opponent, and I really think that'll be a close game. But I think Tennessee will come out with the dub.
In my opinion, Tennessee played UCLA before this game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because we watched a little bit of UCLA,
Mhm.
and their
Yeah.
offense is very good.
Oh
Their
yeah, UCLA looked good because when we were at Lexington for the Tennessee game, we got to see a little bit of the UCLA Utah State game right after.
Then we got
And
bored.
yeah, and then we left to try and beat the crowd. And UCLA, their offense in that first like 10 minutes was firing on all cylinders. They look good. They are a good offensive team.
Oh yeah, and they were going against a pretty good Utah State defense.
Yeah.
They got a couple steals in there in the first 5 minutes, and
Yeah,
they
we
looked
both
really
had
good.
Utah State over UCLA.
Yeah, we did, but I just did not realize that UCLA's the offense was just that good.
Yeah. It's hard to watch all 64 teams and have a good idea about all of them.
Oh yeah, exactly. And more than that, let's be honest, 68 if you count the other 4 that
Count the
don't make
play-ins,
it.
yeah. Like I think everybody had Texas over Xavier.
Oh yeah, because I feel like Texas had what it took to beat Illinois and then beat Kentucky.
Yeah. Very possible, but
They
I
came
they
out too
couldn't get-
cocky.
yeah, they couldn't get past Xavier. So but who do you have? Kentucky or Tennessee?
I have Tennessee. I might be biased,
By
but
how much though? Like a wide margin, a small margin, like that. I think that's
8.
gonna be the thing.
8
By 8 points,
points.
I think it'll be closer than that. I think it'll be closer to like 4,
The first time
between
that
3 and 4.
the first time these two teams played, Zakai Ziegler got injured in the first 5 minutes, and you saw how important he is to our team.
Yeah.
Very important person. So he got injured within the first 5 minutes. The second team, I think we came out too cocky because we're like, oh, we have a healthy Ziegler, blah blah blah, and then we played a lot of our backups.
Yep.
So
When you play them too early and too much, the score can get away from you and cost you the game.
exactly. I mean, Rick Barnes did that too against Rick Barnes, amazing coach. One of the best. I'm going to say top 10 head coaches of all time when it comes to college basketball. I mean, he developed Durant, sent him on the league, and look where Durant is now. Because he was at Texas before coming to Tennessee. And so obviously he knows what he's doing, but he put the backups in way too early against Wofford. Like 10 minutes in to the entire game. He puts in Bishop. Bishop's good. He's not that good. Like, he's not starter level, shouldn't be in the game unless we're resting him at the very end or very start of the second half, just to rest our starters from the first half, put our starters in, boom, they close out the game.
Yeah. So in my bracket here, I have. I predicted the Auburn Michigan matchup.
Same.
The Michigan State game, I had Iowa State,
I did too.
but they're gonna play Ole Miss. I had the Florida Maryland matchup perfect. I actually missed Texas Tech and Arkansas. I thought it was gonna be Drake and St. John's. So, though honestly, it really could have been St. John's, but that one's tough. I did not have. Yeah, I had Duke. I did not have Arizona. I picked Oregon. I did not have BYU. I had Wisconsin, but I did have Alabama. So that one's tough. I did not pick Purdue, but I have Houston. I did not have Kentucky. I had Illinois, obviously. And then I do have Tennessee. I do think in my final 4, I have Duke, Tennessee, Michigan State, and Florida. And then I have Tennessee winning the chip over Michigan State. Because I think at some point these one-seeded teams are going to get too,
Cocky.
and think like,
That's why I have Arizona over Duke.
like all these powerhouse schools,
I'm
think that, and I think like some that do rely on like one primary player, like Cooper Flag and Duke, I do think they'll get knocked out earlier than other teams. The teams that are well-rounded, have a good offense, like, and are good like team-oriented and don't have like one star necessarily, and spread the ball, like those type of teams always will go farther.
I agree, and Duke has proven it that they're not good. Auburn proved in the SEC championship that they don't have the stamina to keep going farther. Florida definitely did, but they're not going to see they did not see a really well-rounded team like Michigan State. And I really feel like Michigan State's going to take advantage of the stamina, the lack of stamina from Auburn and beat them. And then I feel like they're going to turn right around the next week, have the hype off of beating the number 1 seed, playing another 1 seed in the Final Four, and beat Florida.
Yeah.
Unless Florida chokes this week, which is a possibility.
I'm just hoping that UE will win the MVC next year, and we'll be able to watch them in the tournament instead of like Drake.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not going to be Drake next year. I think
No.
Murray State. I think it's going to be Murray State.
Hang on. What were the standings this year? And there's still a lot that could happen with transfer portal.
I think Bradley was second. Sorry, I was just scrolling through, and you know I love football, so I'm always going to bring it up. But with the NFL draft being soon,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of relevant. So the Cowboys have said that if they're going to miss out on Ashton Gingy, which I think is probably going to happen, they're going to try to target Damian Martinez from Miami in the second round. Damian Martinez is not a bad running back, but second round's a little too early, if you ask me.
Yeah, it could be a little too early.
I think Bradley was second in the NBC. Going back to that.
Yeah, Drake and Bradley, but
Murray,
it wasn't that close.
Murray State was 3.
UNI.
Yes.
It was Drake, Bradley, UNI, Belmont, Illinois State, UIC, Murray, Indiana State, Southern Illinois, Evansville, Valpo, and Missouri State.
Y'all sleeping on Murray. Murray might not be a state, but you're sleeping on him.
They had a losing record.
Just wait.
I do think
they have a younger team.
Yeah.
And they'll develop from there.
And you know they have a good program because that's where John Morant came from.
Mhm.
So like you know they gotta have a decent program.
Speaking of Madness in March, this weekend will be a crazy weekend in the city of Indianapolis because you have Sweet 16, you have the Indiana High School Basketball State Finals, and these teams are stacked.
Yeah.
Going into the high school state finals for boys basketball, I'm gonna be biased. I'm from here. I'm from Indiana. I love high school basketball. I have always hated basketball past high school, but I've always loved high school basketball ever since I was a kid. I remember my school always would play up in Seymour, Indiana, who has the second largest high school basketball arena in the country.
That's crazy.
In the world, actually. You know who it's behind?
Who?
Newcastle Fieldhouse in Newcastle, Indiana.
Really?
10 of the top 12 field houses in the world, like as in size of capacity, are from Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana definitely seems like a basketball state.
Oh yeah, thanks to the movie Hoosiers. So these state finals matchups, I just pulled it up. I don't know when Illinois is, but
they might have already happened.
I think so. So they have a 10:30 a.m. game. It's the 1A state championship. You have Clinton Prairie, who is 26-2. The memory's full on that camera. 26-2.
Which one?
That one. Versus Orleans, who's 24-4. So two really good 1A teams. Then you have Manchester High School at 12:45 versus University. Manchester is 25-2. Really good record. They're slated to win, but they're going against University High School, is 20-9. So they have a winning record, but they probably finish the record because you play about 3 or 2 teams in sectionals.
Yeah.
Then you play one team for regionals, so you're already at 4 wins right there. And then you play 5-6 games in the postseason leading up to state. So they probably were 14-9.
Yeah.
Still a really good record, still winning team, and they proved that record doesn't matter going into the state championship. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
And then session 2, they group them to it too. The 6 p.m. game is 3A, South Bend St. Joseph's versus Indianapolis Crispus Attacks. Addicts, sorry.
Yeah.
Tux, maybe, I don't know. Which I believe that's where George McGinnis went.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. St. Joseph is 26-3, and then the Attacks, The Addicts. I don't. That sounds
Yeah.
bad. A Tux, 22-6, and then the state championship for 4A. You have undefeated Fishers High School,
They're undefeated.
30-0, just won semi-state by 30 points.
Wow.
Versus them boys from Jeffersonville, Indiana. They are tough. They're the only team from the Southern Indiana that's in the state finals.
See that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, but crazy.
Yeah, Jeffersonville, Indiana, 23-5,
Yeah, I definitely want to see them win.
led by senior Northwestern commit Trey Singleton. And then you have
Northwestern commit.
Northwestern commit,
Dang.
the highest.
I don't want to say it's gonna come like he's gonna be on the pod, but like, hey, maybe we get him on the pod.
Let's see. I might know him. I don't know. I just might know him.
Might know the guy.
I might be going to state this weekend to go watch him in an outfit that says "Go Red Devils, go Jeffersonville." Who knows? I might be from that high school.
Yeah.
And then you have two other senior forwards, Michael Cooper and PJ Douglas, who they're so underrated because they went to Wright State.
Mhm.
That's how underrated they are. And in some aspects
Yeah.
of the game of basketball, I feel like Michael Cooper is better than Trey Singleton. Trey
Interesting.
Singleton's good. He's a really good big. He can dunk. He can he can shoot layups. He can shoot. But Michael Cooper, when it comes in time for clutch, and you need a 3, he's your man. He has made 3 buzzer beaters
Like this season?
in the postseason.
Just in the postseason?
Just in the postseason
That's nuts.
against rivals. The longest rivalry in Indiana, New Albany Bulldogs versus the Jeffersonville Red Devils. It's the oldest rivalry in the state of Indiana for high school basketball.
What? That's gonna be one heck of a shot to like put that up buzzer beater against your rival school.
And it wasn't just a buzzer beater. He was airborne, double teamed, put it up over a 5-star. He's a 5-star freshman.
Yeah.
Noah Washington. If you saw the videos of the middle schooler dunking on a teacher last year,
I think so. That sounds right.
that was him.
That's crazy.
That's Noah Washington. Noah Washington's a very good player. Obviously, I'm biased and I don't really like him, but he's a high schooler. He's
don't know.
14 years old and I'm 19. So
I think Jeffersonville could definitely pull it off, but like Fishers just looks so insane that it's kind of like David and Goliath.
that's exactly what it is. Fishers is good. Don't get me wrong. Fishers is good.
But you got to take the underdog.
You have to.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's more fun.
I might be biased about it, but I feel like you have to.
You have to. Okay. So we've talked a lot about basketball, and we've talked a lot about a lot of good sports. But I think we got to wrap it up for today.
I agree. But let's break into another sport. Just one little quick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One little quick.
Just a quickie.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
a quickie.
Go for it.
Mini golf. If you're in the Evansville area, mini golf 5 to 8 p.m. at the Fiji House. Come support our two philanthropies of the Fiji tour. It's just a little mini golf. Come have fun with some friends. It's $5 for a ticket. $15 if you buy a meal, and you get if you pay $15, you get a meal and you get a free round of mini golf.
Good
5 to
promo,
8 p.m.
good promo.
at the Fiji House. You can just put Phi Gamma Delta House into Google Maps. Make sure it's the one in Evansville, Indiana. And if you're listening to it and you come, I hope to see you there.
Yes. And that'll pretty much do it for the Full Court Press podcast for today. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see like our facial reactions and everything we are talking about and motioning. Like here, we're just going to high five right now. See, if you're listening to that, you couldn't see it. You could just hear it. So that's why you need to go to our YouTube and actually subscribe and press the subscribe button. Give us a like. Give us a comment below. Tell me what you think of the episode. Tell us what you thought of the episode and any topics you want us to discuss for the next show or next week or anything in the future.
I agree. And thank you guys for an amazing first episode back after winter break.
Woo! Oh, thank you.
Forgot about that.
Okay. And with that, we will see y'all in the next one. Take it easy.